Hello and welcome to the next tutorial where we're going to talk about making your own custom info box or editing existing ones. We're going to teach you how to use the base info box template here to create your own info box that will have your own custom layout. We're going to follow it similar to that of the like somebody like Donald Trump. We'll just get him up here. We're going to do it similar to the person info box here. Now, if you want to import it from Wikipedia to make it easier, you obviously can. You do not have to. But if you want to add custom things, it's going to be really easy to do so this way. If you want to remove things, you don't even need to make a custom one. You can just simply not include like the succeeded by or the preceded by in it. So first thing is you need to understand and read how the info box works, because the info box is a template, meaning that you're going to need to do some advanced configuration stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own info box. Now, if you want to create a general info box, so like info box person, you can, but that may exist on Wikipedia, so be cautious of that, and somebody may want to import it. If you want to create your own one, I suggest you do like boops. Let's do info box person. We'll do that. Boops info box person. We'll just do that for now. Create this page. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we'll be in the source editor here, and we have the template data where you can take in parameters, and this is what you're going to use for things like the visual editor and whatnot. Now, I'm not going to do the visual editor stuff in this because I'm just making a simple one. You can obviously add in your own parameters and whatnot. And if you're looking for assistance on how to do this, go to one over here. Like if I do here and do country info box here, I go over here just to the micro wiki one real quick. You can do view source here, and as soon as it loads here, you can see the source of the page. So you can see basically it's a lot of if statements here where it talks about we have the above name. Now, if you don't know what above is, it says right here. This is the above. So the title, essentially. And basically, if a conventional long name is provided. So if conventional long name, native name. So it's talking about, so here you can see if a conventional long name or a native name or a name is provided, then we do this stuff. If a long name is provided, we do the long name. If a native name or a name is provided, we do those. And further, you can just see how it's done here. It's a lot of if statements to check if they exist and whatnot. But we're going to create a simple one. You'll need the if statements if something's optional. So that's something you have to be careful about. But we'll go ahead and do that. So the first thing is the above. So the title here is the title on the outside and the above is on the inside. So think of it like that. So you can see we'll go ahead and do here. We're going to first of all do info box first. And then you can see we can then do enter here, put in the straight line, and you can see name equals boops info box. Now, you wouldn't put text here. You'd do the variable that you want. So 3 of the brackets, squiggly brackets, and then the thing here. And you can also see it uses a variable here, page name, which would be the name of the page. Variables can be used as well. But we're just going to put in default text. And then at the bottom here, we'll do that. So we can go show preview, and this should work. So you can see the name doesn't show up, but the info box is there. So we can then do title Infobox. The name is sort of just like an internal thing. So you can see here, we don't need the quotation marks, actually. I apologize. I'm a programmer, so I'm used to that stuff. But you can see here, Boops Infobox. Then we can do the above. So if we did like above or a title here, then we do show preview. Nothing would show up because, you know, title doesn't, you know, it would just show this because title, you know, we haven't supplied that variable. But you can see here, we can add the parameter, and it'll add suggested, so it makes it a lot easier. So we can apply those datas, and you can see it'll be in there for template data, so that you can use it in the visual editor. But we have above, title, so then we want an image. So we'll just actually get renamed. So we want an image here. So you can see subheader. If we have image here, so we can do image, and then we just put a file here. So if we did like here, upload, I'm just gonna put in the GOVRN logo, upload it, and the GOVRN logo. Save it. Insert. Just make sure it's in the equals area, and this should work. Show preview. Yeah, you can see there the image. Now the image is leaning to the side, and that's how the info box works. It's mainly because the image is smaller than the full length. So to prevent this from happening, you need to get a bigger image. So like here, this is a big image, or you'd have to manually size it. And the way you can do something like that is if you go and look here, you can see size default, all that fun stuff. So if we go back and we look at like Donald Trump here, you can see image. You can see the image is big enough so that you don't have to resize it. But sometimes you may need to, and you can follow the helping for files here. I believe there's a way to set it, the size. If we look here. Yeah, so size default, size, max size. So let's do, let's try this. So size equals 250. Show preview. Oh, wait, hold on. You want to be sure that you're following the order, so image, it's caption, I think. Then maybe that'll work. I may be doing this somewhat incorrectly, but now if you ever have trouble like I am now, you can always Google it. You know, if you're having any issues, Google is simply the way to go. Just look for image here. We have that image. We could also be in the info box. Let's go take a look at the info box. So info box office holder, and then we'll do view source. So let's take a look at the info box to see above child image invoke image box info box image. So there's a separate thing that is used for info boxes. It looks like info box image, yeah. And I think we have this in here, so we're gonna use info box image here. And the way we can go ahead and do that is we can use, so I'm just going to copy this for now. And I'm going to do one down here. So let's be image 2. Let's be image. So we'll do that. So here you can see we're invoking infobox image, and we just set it file, image. We'll just set it there for now. actually, we'll just leave it at default. So show preview. So we can set the image to be the file govern logo. Yep, so you can see Infobox image centers it perfectly. File, size, width, image uprate, alt text, things like that. If we go to edit template data, it'll add the parameters, so title, width, image size, alt, all that fun stuff. So you can see that's an image there, so we can get rid of image too. So that's how we do that. And if you want to do a custom image, we can just do image like that. And that'll let us set it as a variable. So that's our image, title. So we have our image, and then let's say we wanted to, if I can find it, read it. So let's say we wanted to add, so we have our suffix. So let's like do a suffix here, I guess. So we do image, and then per the info box, we can add a caption. So caption. And what we can do is we can just simply do image caption. Or info box image caption if we wanted to. So let's say we wanted to, that's it. That's it for now. So we're going to just save the page because that's all of the info box that we want to do. You'll see this. It'll look like that. That's okay. What we're going to do is I want to go to my sandbox area to play around with this sandbox. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create source. Now, you won't work in the visual editor unless you add the template data like I was showing before. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to do Boops Infobox person. And then remember, if we go to edit source, you can see we have title here. Go to template data, just add all the parameters and apply it, I guess, for now. Because that'll work in the template editor. And you can also see template parameters here. So it makes it a lot easier. So we can do title here. Or hold on. Title. So we can do my person there. Image govern logo.jpg, I think it was. Let me actually go ahead and find that really quickly what the name of it was. If you forget, you can check in your it's govern logo.jpg. You can check in your contributions or uploads if you go to upload file. I'm pretty sure that's where you go to find it. We'll do govern logo.jpg. Insert, and you'll see file, thumb. Go there, put that there. So we got our image width. We don't need to supply it. We can just put an alt the man. And then we'll end the template. Show preview. So you can see image. So we might have some issues here, but we also are missing the info box image caption. Make sure you get rid of thumb, by the way. Don't let it say that. So the alt is whenever you hover over it. Some browsers have it where it'll show a yeah. So if you hover over it, it'll say an alt, like it'll say the man. For some reason, it isn't working here because it's clickable. But that's what that is for. And you can specify minimum sizes, but you can see that's basically a basic template that we've created. You can do a lot more advanced things with this. You can do your own very complex, you look at this is a lot of if statements. It's code, essentially. HTML in here with custom CSS, which you can create in the info box. Here, you can create CSS in here by using, it's a part of our, it's an add-on that we have. It's called template styles, I believe. And if you look up like template styles, you go to the extension here, you can add this into your code to create a custom CSS. If you don't know what CSS is, then you probably shouldn't do it, but basically it lets you do your own CSS in the template itself, compared to having to go to the common CSS, which if you don't know what that is, then probably shouldn't be doing it. But that is like how you do the basic editing, like basic creation of an Infobox. But let's say you wanted to edit an existing Infobox. So I'm just gonna save that for now. We're gonna go here, template. I think it's Infobox election here. This is something that somebody imported. But let's say you want to add something. If you want to remove something, you don't need to supply it if it's optional. If it's required, then you will need to do it, clone it, and then change it. But yeah, you can see the Infobox works here. So this is the election Infobox whenever it loads. I got a lot of tabs open, so that's why it's taking a while for me right now. But whenever it does load, you can also see here this is something that somebody else created with the Infobox imported, as well as the tables, all created based off of the Wikipedia page. Now everything, of course, doesn't exist, but you can create those pages if you wish. Public and party as well. Looks like we got it here. So this is the Infobox election here. We have all of this. And here you can, let's say you wanted to add something that doesn't exist. What you can do is you can go ahead and create your own. So first go to edit source, then copy it all. And then what you're going to do is go back, or instead you can just go to template, boops, Infobox, election. So let's create this page, and we're going to paste it. And let's say we wanted to add something. Say we wanted, you can see here, we have our header 1. If you don't remember what that is, if you go to Infobox, just the regular Infobox, here you can see header 1. So this is header 1, header 2, and you can add more. And you have your labels and data there. So here you can see this is header 1. And basically this is called a switch statement, so you can do the type of election. So there's different election types that you can supply. If it's a primary, presidential, parliamentary, legislative, etc., you could see reporting, so label, and then the data of that label. So if you wanted to add images, add a leader here, leader 4, and whatnot. Now, this would be custom, your own, and then simply you can see this uses also the Infobox election/row. So what you'll have to pay attention to is some templates may use templates inside of it. So this is a template, an Infobox election, that uses the Infobox election/row template. It's confusing, but to be organized, some people will create templates and then put them in other templates, such as this one, which is why, candidate 1 is here. But if you wanted to add something else, like, I don't know, like secretary, you'd have to edit this Infobox, and then use that Infobox in your own custom election Infobox. It's a little bit confusing, but most of the time you won't have to edit a lot of these because most of these are optional. So I'm just going to leave this page. If you, for example, go to a template election here, you will see at the bottom is right here, you'll see the fields. All of the fields right down here where it says template parameters, and if it's optional. And most of these are optional. There are very rarely any required ones, so you don't need to include all of these. So remember that. You have a lot of customization when it comes to it, so I really recommend you just do the good old importing. But if you know what you're doing and you want to create your own, you're welcome to do that. But go here, you know, you look at Infobox country. If this has something which you want, like this, then you can just take that. So think about that when you're doing this. But this tutorial is just there for people who are curious about it. There are tutorials online that you can go ahead and use. Just search up something along the lines of Media Wiki info boxes, or Media Wiki formatting, Media Wiki editing, or just search up Wikipedia in general too. Like if I do Wikipedia info box, you will find this is good. Manuals, designing. So if I go here, you can see it explains the info box in relation to Wikipedia. You can go here and see the style of info boxes, so it'll explain it all to you, as well as how to design an info box. So it'll explain to you prototyping, designing, etc., etc. It goes really in depth of how to do conditions and creating special things in it. So keep that in mind. You can use a lot of resources out on the internet. You don't have to use just this video. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. See you later.